I had been married to Sophia Carter for 7 years. 7 years of shared mornings, shared bills, shared dreams, and shared promises. Lately, something felt different. Sophia smiled less. She spent more time on her phone. Whenever I asked if something was wrong, Sophia always gave me the same answer. I'm just tired, Ethan. And every time, I believed Sophia. Maybe that was my first mistake. Are you coming tonight? Daniel Brooks asked over the phone. I'll be there. You sound exhausted. Work has been rough. Daniel laughed. Then tonight is exactly what you need. The charity event was crowded. Music played softly while guests moved between tables. I grabbed a drink and looked around. Where's Sophia? Daniel asked. I thought Sophia was with you. Daniel frowned. I haven't seen Sophia. I pulled out my phone. No messages. No calls. A strange feeling settled in my chest. I'll find Sophia, I said. I walked through the hallway near the back of the building. Then I heard voices. One voice belonged to Sophia. The other belonged to Liam Hayes. I froze. Liam had recently returned to town after years away. Sophia had mentioned Liam once or twice, but never much. I wasn't trying to listen. But then Sophia said something that stopped me cold. You were always my soulmate, Liam. My hand tightened around my glass. For a second, I thought I had heard wrong. Then Liam spoke. Sophia, don't say that unless you mean it. I do mean it. My heart started pounding. I never stopped wondering about us, Sophia continued. I wondered too, Liam said quietly. What would have happened if things were different? I felt sick. I loved Ethan, Sophia said. Loved, not love, loved. But Liam's voice was gentle. But part of me always belonged to you. The words hit harder than any punch. I thought time would change that, Sophia whispered. Did it? No. Silence followed. Then Liam spoke again. I never forgot you either. I couldn't listen anymore. I turned and walked away before either of them saw me. Every step felt heavier than the last. Outside, cold air hit my face. But it didn't help. Nothing helped. The drive home felt endless. I kept hearing the same sentence. You were always my soulmate. Not husband. Not partner. Soulmate. And apparently that wasn't me. When I got home, I sat alone in the living room. Old photographs filled the shelves. Wedding pictures. Vacation pictures. Birthday pictures. 7 years captured in frames. I picked up one photo. Sophia was laughing. I remembered taking that picture. Back then, everything felt real. Now I wasn't sure of anything. My phone rang. It was Emily Carter. Ethan, are you home? Yeah. You sound terrible. Emily paused. What's wrong? Nothing. Ethan. I sighed. It's complicated. Do you want company? Part of me wanted to be alone. The other part didn't trust myself. Sure. 30 minutes later, Emily arrived. The moment Emily saw me, Emily's expression changed. Okay, something definitely happened. I forced a smile. I'm fine. That's the worst lie you've ever told. I looked away. Emily sat across from me. Talk to me? I hesitated. Then the words came out. I heard Sophia talking to Liam. Emily frowned. What about? I swallowed. Sophia called Liam her soulmate. Emily stared at me. For several seconds, Emily said nothing. Then Emily whispered, You're serious? I nodded. What exactly did Sophia say? I repeated everything. Every painful word. Every sentence. Emily's face hardened. You need to confront Sophia. I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I need facts first. Ethan, what more do you need? I need the truth. Emily leaned forward. What if the truth hurts? I laughed bitterly. It already hurts. Emily reached for my hand. I'm sorry. Me too. What are you going to do? I honestly don't know. Promise me one thing. What? Don't ignore this. I nodded. I won't. A little later, Emily left. I sat alone again. Hours passed. Finally, the front door opened. Sophia walked inside. Hey! I looked up. Hey! Sophia smiled. Sorry I'm late. Busy night. Very. Sophia kissed my cheek. The gesture felt strangely unfamiliar. How was the event? Sophia asked. Fine. Did you talk to Daniel? Yeah. Good. Sophia walked into the kitchen, acting normal, talking normally, smiling normally, as if nothing had happened, as if I hadn't heard every word. That hurt more than anything. Later that night, we climbed into bed. Sophia fell asleep quickly. I stared at the ceiling. The room was dark and silent. The woman beside me looked exactly the same. But something had changed. Maybe Sophia had changed. Maybe my understanding of Sophia had changed. Either way, I couldn't pretend anymore. Questions filled my mind. How long had this been happening? Did Sophia still love me? Had our marriage been a lie? I wanted answers, not assumptions, not guesses. Answers. As Sophia slept peacefully beside me, I made a decision. I wouldn't confront Sophia yet. I wouldn't accuse Sophia. I wouldn't make an emotional mistake. First, I would learn the truth. And once I found it, everything would change. After the charity event, I stopped trusting what I saw. Instead, I started paying attention to what Sophia tried to hide. For weeks, I watched quietly. I noticed Sophia smiling at messages and quickly locking the phone whenever I entered the room. I noticed Sophia stepping outside to take calls. I noticed conversations disappearing from message logs. Each discovery hurt more than the last. One evening, Sophia grabbed a coat. I'm meeting a friend. Which friend? Just someone from work. What time will you be back? I don't know. Then Sophia left. I sat alone for an hour before my phone rang. It was Marcus Reed. Ethan, where you? At home. Why? Marcus sounded uncomfortable. I need to show you something. My stomach tightened. What happened? Can you meet me? 20 minutes later, I sat across from Marcus in a coffee shop. Marcus placed a phone on the table. Ethan, I'm sorry. I looked at the screen. The first photo showed Sophia sitting across from Liam Hayes. The second showed Liam holding Sophia's hand. The third showed both of them smiling at each other. My chest felt hollow. When was this? Tonight. I stared at the photos. You sure? Marcus nodded. I wish I wasn't. Neither of us spoke for a moment. Finally, Marcus said, What are you going to do? I looked at the screen one last time. I'm going home. When I walked to the front door, Sophia was already there. Sophia looked surprised. You're home early. I tossed my keys onto the table. We need to talk. The smile disappeared from Sophia's face. Ethan? No. I held up my hand. Not this time. Sophia sat down slowly. I pulled out my phone. Who were you having dinner with tonight? A co-worker. I showed Sophia the photos. The color drained from Sophia's face. Neither of us spoke. Finally, I asked, Do you want to try again? Try what? Lying. Sophia lowered her eyes. The silence told me everything. I sat across from Sophia. How long? Sophia's voice barely came out. A few months. A few months. I laughed bitterly. That's your answer? I didn't plan for this. Then explain it. Sophia started crying. I never meant to hurt you, Ethan. The words felt meaningless. Then why did you? Sophia wiped away tears. I don't know. That's not good enough. I was confused. No. I shook my head. You don't secretly meet another man because you're confused. Sophia looked down. I still love Liam. The room felt smaller. Every remaining piece of hope inside me shattered. I stared at Sophia. What did you say? I still love Liam. I closed my eyes. Hearing it once had been painful. Hearing it directly was worse. What about me? Sophia started crying harder. I love you too. Don't. Ethan. Don't say that. Sophia covered her face. I'm trying to be honest. Honest. I laughed again. After months of lies? I never wanted this. But it happened. Sophia nodded. Yes. I leaned back. So tell me the truth. Sophia took a shaky breath. When Liam came back, old feelings returned. And I thought they would disappear. They didn't. No. Did you kiss Liam? Sophia hesitated. That hesitation answered everything. I looked away. Did you? Yes. The word hit like a knife. I swallowed hard. Anything else? Sophia couldn't meet my eyes. I already knew the answer. For several seconds, neither of us spoke. Then Sophia whispered, Liam feels like my soulmate. The same word again. Soulmate. I hated that word. What does that make me? Sophia cried quietly. You were my best friend. Were. Sophia's face fell. I didn't mean it like that. But you said it. Ethan, please. I stood up. No. Please sit down. No. We can fix this. I stared at Sophia. Can we? Sophia opened her mouth but couldn't answer. That silence hurt more than any confession. For the first time in 7 years, I turned my back on Sophia and walked away. Behind me, I heard Sophia crying. I didn't stop. The next morning, I sat in an office across from Rachel Morgan. Rachel reviewed my situation carefully. So you're considering divorce? I think so. Rachel nodded. Do you have proof of the relationship? Yes. I showed Rachel the photos. Rachel studied them. These will help. I rubbed my forehead. I never thought I'd be here. Nobody does. What are my options? Rachel spent the next hour explaining everything. Property, finance, legal timelines, rights, responsibilities. I listened carefully. When the meeting ended, Rachel handed me a card. Take your time. I appreciate that. This is difficult. That's an understatement. Rachel gave me a sympathetic smile. Before leaving, I asked one question. Can a marriage survive something like this? Rachel paused. Only if both people choose it. That answer stayed with me. That evening, Sophia approached me again. Ethan, can we talk? I didn't answer immediately. Finally, I nodded. Sophia sat beside me. I need time. For what? To figure out my feelings. I looked at Sophia. The woman I loved seemed lost. But I was beginning to understand something important. Love alone wasn't enough. Without loyalty, love became meaningless. I need time too, I said. Sophia nodded slowly. Thank you. I didn't tell Sophia about Rachel. I didn't mention divorce papers. I didn't reveal my decision. Instead, I quietly watched Sophia leave the room. Then I opened Rachel's card again. And for the first time, I began preparing for the end of my marriage. A week after meeting Rachel Morgan, Sophia finally made a decision. I knew the conversation was coming the moment. Sophia walked into the living room. Sophia looked nervous. Ethan, can we talk? Sure. Sophia sat across from me. For several seconds, Sophia said nothing. Then Sophia finally spoke. I made my choice. I already knew what was coming, but hearing it still hurt. I want to be with Liam. The room became silent. Sophia waited for a reaction. Anger, begging, a fight. Instead, I nodded. Okay. Sophia blinked. Okay. Yes. Sophia stared at me. That's all you're going to say? What else should I say? I don't know. For the first time, Sophia looked confused. I thought you'd be angry. I thought you'd fight for us. I looked directly at Sophia. You already made your choice. Tears filled Sophia's eyes. Ethan? No. I shook my head. I won't compete with Liam. Sophia lowered her gaze. I never wanted to hurt you. That doesn't matter anymore. Sophia looked devastated. But something inside me had changed. The pain was still there. The love was still there. The trust was gone. And without trust, there was nothing left to save. A few days later, I sat in Rachel Morgan's office. Rachel reviewed the paperwork. Are you certain? I looked at the documents. Yes. Rachel nodded. Then we'll move forward. I signed my name. The moment the pen touched paper, I felt strangely calm. Rachel noticed. How are you feeling? Relieved. Rachel smiled slightly. That's normal. It doesn't feel normal. You're finally choosing yourself. I sat back. I spent months thinking about revenge. And now I just want peace. Rachel nodded. That's healthier. Before leaving, Rachel stopped me. Ethan. Yeah. Don't build your future around pain. I thought about those words all day. A week later, Daniel Brooks called me. Are you free tonight? Depends. Come to dinner. I'm not really in the mood. That's exactly why you should come. I sighed. Fine. That evening, I arrived at the restaurant. Daniel was already there, but Daniel wasn't alone. A woman sat across from him. The moment I saw her, I recognized her. Grace Bennett. Grace smiled. Ethan Carter. I laughed softly. It's been years. Too many years. Daniel grinned. Now that introductions are done, can we eat? The conversation started awkwardly. Then it became easier. At one point, Grace asked, How are you really doing? I looked at Grace. Honestly, my life exploded. Grace nodded. I understand. I raised an eyebrow. You do? My fiancé cheated on me last year. I blinked. I'm sorry. Grace shrugged sadly. Nothing to be sorry for. What happened? Grace smiled bitterly. The same thing that happened to you. For the first time in months, I felt understood. Not pitted. Understood. Over the next few weeks, Grace and I talked often. Sometimes over coffee. Sometimes over phone. Sometimes during long walks. One afternoon, Grace asked, Do you still hate Sophia? I thought carefully. No. Really? I hate what happened. But not Sophia? I shook my head. No. Grace smiled. That's progress. Maybe Grace was right. For the first time, I wasn't waking up angry. I wasn't checking Sophia's social media. I wasn't imagining revenge. I was simply trying to move forward. Meanwhile, the divorce continued. Sophia officially moved in with Liam. At first, everything seemed perfect, at least from the outside. Then one afternoon, Sophia called me unexpectedly. Can we talk? What about? I just need advice. I almost laughed. Advice? Please. Against my better judgment, I agreed. When we met, Sophia looked exhausted. What's wrong? I asked. Sophia rubbed her forehead. Liam and I keep arguing. I remained silent. Sophia continued. Liam never comes home on time. I said nothing. Liam forgets important things. Still nothing. Finally, Sophia sighed. You don't have anything to say? No. Sophia looked disappointed. I thought you'd understand. I do understand. Then, I met Sophia's eyes. You wanted Liam. Sophia looked away. For the first time, I saw uncertainty. Not regret. Not yet, but uncertainty. Weeks passed. The cracks continued growing. Friends started mentioning arguments between Sophia and Liam. Daniel heard stories. Emily heard stories. Even Marcus heard stories. Apparently, Liam loved the chase more than the relationship. Reality wasn't matching the fantasy. One evening, I met Grace for dinner. Grace smiled as I approached. You're smiling. So, are you? Grace laughed. That's true. I sat down. You know something? What? I think I'm finally okay. Grace studied me. Are you? I nodded. Yeah. For the first time, I truly meant it. The pain wasn't controlling me anymore. The betrayal wasn't defining me anymore. I was rebuilding, slowly, but honestly. As Grace and I talked, I noticed someone across the street. Sophia. Sophia had stopped walking. Sophia was staring through the restaurant window. At me, at Grace, at the smile on my face. For a moment, our eyes met. I saw surprise, then sadness, then realization. Sophia finally understood something important. I wasn't waiting anymore. And for the first time since our marriage fell apart, neither was I. Several months passed, and my life looked completely different. The divorce was finalized. I had my own place. I slept peacefully again. Most importantly, I stopped measuring my future by my past. One Monday morning, I was called into a meeting. My mentor, Victor Lang, was waiting for me. Sit down, Ethan. I took a seat. What's going on? Victor smiled. I have good news. That sounds dangerous. Victor laughed. A leadership position just opened. I frowned. And I recommended you. For a second, I couldn't speak. You're serious? Completely. I don't know what to say. Victor leaned back. Say yes. I laughed. That part was easy. Victor nodded. You've earned this. Thank you. No. Victor pointed at me. You did the work. I left the office feeling lighter than I had in years. For the first time, I wasn't surviving. I was building something. That evening, Grace called. How did the meeting go? I got the promotion. Grace screamed so loudly I had to move the phone away. Grace. Sorry. No, you're not. That's true. I smiled. You knew. I had a feeling. Well, your feeling was right. I'm proud of you. The words hit harder than expected. Nobody had said that to me in a long time. Thank you. You deserve it. While my life moved forward, Sophia's life seemed to be moving backward. At first, I only heard rumors. Then the messages started. The first one was simple. Hi, Ethan. I ignored it. A few days later, another arrived. Can we talk? I ignored that one too. Then came another. I hope you're doing okay. Still nothing. One evening, my phone rang. Sophia. I stared at the screen. Eventually, I answered. Hello? Ethan. Sophia sounded nervous. What do you need? I just wanted to hear your voice. I closed my eyes. Why? I don't know. Then call back when you do. Before Sophia could answer, I hung up. The next day, Grace met me for lunch. You look distracted. Sophia called. Grace nodded slowly. How did that feel? I thought for a moment. Strange. Painful? Not really. Grace smiled. That's growth. I laughed. Is that the therapist's answer? No. Grace grinned. That's the survivor answer. A few weeks later, Sophia called again. This time, I answered immediately. What happened? Sophia sounded shocked. How did you know something happened? You only call when things go wrong. Silence. Lynn Sophia sighed. You're right. What happened? It's Liam. I wasn't surprised. What about Liam? We keep fighting. I remained quiet. Sophia continued. Liam never follows through on anything. Still nothing. Liam spends money constantly. I listened. Liam promises things and forgets them. Finally, I spoke. Why are you telling me this? I don't know. Yes, you do. Sophia didn't answer. A week later, another message arrived. This time it was different. Can we meet? I stared at the screen for several minutes. Eventually, I agreed. We met at a small cafe. The moment Sophia walked inside, I barely recognized her. The confident woman who left me was gone. Sophia looked exhausted. Sophia sat down slowly. Thank you for coming. What did you want to talk about? For several seconds, Sophia just looked at me. Then Sophia whispered, I made a mistake. I heard something I had never heard before. Real regret. Not guilt. Not excuses. Regret. I studied Sophia carefully. Months ago, hearing those words would have changed everything. Now they didn't. I see. Sophia blinked. That's all. What else should I say? I thought you'd be angry. I almost laughed. That version of me doesn't exist anymore. Tears filled Sophia's eyes. I destroyed everything. You made choices. Sophia nodded. I know. For the next hour, Sophia told me everything. The arguments, the lies, the broken promises, the disappointment. Finally, Sophia lowered her head. There's something else. What? Liam has debt. I frowned. What kind of debt? A lot. Sophia's voice shook. Liam hid it from me. I said nothing. He lied about his finances. I remembered the man who claimed to be Sophia's soulmate, the perfect man, the missing piece. Now the illusion was falling apart. Sophia wiped away tears. I gave up everything. I looked out the window. Then I looked back. No. Sophia frowned. What? You gave up something. What? Us. Sophia started crying again. This time I felt sympathy, but not longing, not hope, not love, just sympathy. When the meeting ended, Sophia stood. I miss you. I nodded politely. Then I stood as well. Outside the cafe, Grace was waiting for me. Sophia noticed immediately. The expression on Sophia's face changed. Not jealousy, understanding. Grace walked over. Everything okay? Yeah. Grace smiled. Ready to go? I nodded. As Grace and I walked away together, I looked back one final time. Sophia was standing alone, watching, realizing. The relationship Sophia had sacrificed everything for was collapsing. The life Sophia abandoned was gone. And unlike Liam's promises, it wasn't something that could be rebuilt with words. Some doors only close once. Sophia finally understood that. Unfortunately for Sophia, the realization came far too late. 3 months after my meeting with Sophia, my phone rang again. I looked at the screen. Sophia. For a moment, I considered ignoring it. Then I answered. Hello. Sophia's voice sounded weak. Ethan, can we meet? What happened? A long silence followed. Then Sophia finally spoke. I left Liam. I wasn't surprised. What happened this time? Sophia laughed bitterly. There was another woman. I closed my eyes. Of course there was. I found messages. Sophia's voice cracked. I found pictures. I said nothing. The entire relationship was a lie. I stared out the window. The irony wasn't lost on me. Months earlier, Sophia had chosen Liam because Liam was supposedly a soulmate. Now, even that illusion was gone. Ethan, I'm here. Please meet me. I hesitated. Then I agreed. 2 days later, I arrived at the park where I had proposed to Sophia years ago. The memories came back immediately. The nervousness, the excitement, the hope. Back then, I thought I was beginning the happiest chapter of my life. Now I was here to close it forever. Sophia was already waiting when I arrived. The moment Sophia saw me, tears filled Sophia's eyes. Thank you for coming. I sat down on a nearby bench. What did you want to say? For several seconds, Sophia couldn't speak. Then the tears started falling. I was wrong. I remained silent. I was so wrong. Sophia wiped the tears. I thought Liam was everything I wanted. Still, I said nothing. I thought Liam was my soulmate. The word no longer hurt. It simply sounded foolish. Sophia looked at me. You were the best thing that ever happened to me. Years ago, those words would have meant everything. I would have held on to them, believed them, built my future around them. Now they meant nothing. Not because I hated Sophia, because I had changed. Sophia kept crying. I destroyed our marriage. Yes. I hurt you. Yes. I threw away everything. I nodded. Yes. Sophia lowered her head. I don't expect forgiveness. I thought carefully. You already have it. Sophia looked up immediately. What? I forgave you a long time ago. More tears appeared. Then why does this feel so hopeless? I took a deep breath. Because forgiveness isn't the same as reconciliation. Sophia stared at me. I still love you. I shook my head gently. No. Sophia frowned. What do you mean? You love the version of me that stayed. Tears rolled down Sophia's face. Ethan, the man you loved doesn't exist anymore. Sophia looked devastated. I understood the feeling. I had felt it myself once. Finally, Sophia whispered, was Liam ever real? I thought about that. Then I answered honestly. I think Liam was real. Sophia looked confused. What? I think you fell in love with an idea. The words hit Sophia hard. The fantasy. The fantasy? I nodded. You love what you imagined Liam could be. Sophia covered her face. For several seconds, neither of us spoke. Then I said the words I had needed to say for months. Love requires choices. Sophia slowly lowered her hands. What? Love isn't destiny. I held Sophia's gaze. It's commitment. Sophia listened quietly. It's loyalty. A tear slid down Sophia's cheek. It's choosing someone every day. Sophia nodded weakly. Then I finished. Soulmates don't betray each other. Sophia closed her eyes. People do. The silence that followed felt final. Not painful. Final. Eventually, Sophia asked the question I had been expecting. Is there any chance for us? I looked at the woman I had once planned to spend my life with. Then I answered honestly. No. Sophia broke down completely. I felt sadness, but not doubt, not temptation, not regret, just sadness. After a while, Sophia wiped away tears. I understand. I stood. Before leaving, I offered a small smile. Thank you. Sophia looked surprised. For what? The good memories. Fresh tears appeared. There were good memories. There were. I nodded. But our story is over. Sophia lowered her head. This time, Sophia didn't argue. This time, Sophia accepted it. That evening, I attended Emily's engagement celebration. The house was full of laughter. Daniel was there. Marcus was there. Even Victor stopped by for a while. For the first time in years, I enjoyed being present. Not distracted. Not angry. Present. When I arrived, Grace walked over. You made it. Barely. Grace laughed. You always say that. Because it's always true. Grace slipped a hand into mine. A simple gesture, but it felt honest. Real. Emily noticed immediately. Oh, look at you two. I groaned. Please don't start. Emily grinned. Too late? Everyone laughed. For the rest of the evening, I talked, smiled, and celebrated. At one point, I stepped outside for fresh air. Across the street, I noticed a familiar figure. Sophia. Sophia wasn't trying to interrupt. Sophia wasn't trying to approach. Sophia was simply watching. Watching the life that once belonged to her. Watching the future she walked away from. For a moment, our eyes met. Then Sophia looked down. Finally understanding. Finally accepting. I didn't feel victorious. I didn't feel superior. I didn't feel revenge. I felt peace. As I walked back inside, enjoying Grace, a final realization settled in my heart. Giving Sophia exactly what Sophia wanted had never been about punishment. It had been about freedom. Freedom for Sophia to chase a fantasy. Freedom for me to stop living inside a betrayal. In the end, true victory was never revenge. True victory was moving forward without hatred. And for the first time in years, I finally had